this stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Newman, and today we're going to be unboxing Cowboy Bebop's Spike Spiegel from Mondo Toys. This 1/8 scale figure measures 10 inches in height. It's made of PVC, ABS, and fabric, sports multiple points of articulation, and comes with over a dozen accessories. Now before we get to the unboxing, it would greatly be appreciated if you were to like this video, if you do indeed like it, and subscribe. That way you'll never miss a future unboxing. So this figure really flew under the radar for me from Mondo. I only saw it because I was doing some shopping on BigBadToyStore.com and I saw it advertised there, back when it was a pre-order. So I decided to get it. I'm honestly glad that I missed the time release, as the time release, it was the deluxe version, it had a lot more accessories, it was a little bit more expensive, but the more Mondo that I collect, the more I realize sometimes I just don't need all of those accessories. Granted, it was only a $10 difference, which actually isn't really that bad. And you got a trench coat, you got that dog, you got a couple more head sculpts. It's actually a pretty good value. It sold out though. But again, you know, I probably didn't need it. I wasn't going to display him with that trench coat, so I really didn't need it. So yeah, I got this. So anyway, the packaging is pretty minimalist. It looks good though. Solid matte black with white logos on all of the sides. And on the back, we also have the credits for all of the wonderful artists that worked on this figure. I'm really glad that Mondo does this. And we also have a window view of the box, as is pretty standard for most Mondo toys. The fastener for this is Velcro, however, where most are magnetic, or at least the ones that I get anyway. All right, so we're not gonna waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get this thing opened up. Alright, now that we got the figure in hand, overall, I think this looks really good. I think this is a great likeness of the character. There's some nice painting, there's some nice sculpt going on here. There's actually some nice airbrushing at the creases of his clothes to give it some added dimension to it. Looks really nice, really good, A+. This is my first 1/8 scale figure from Mondo, so let's see this thing's any good. So let's start off with the articulation. So the head is on a ball joint, goes all the way around. There's a pretty good range of movement on here. You get some good tilts in here. Arms go up to about yay high. They feel ratchet jointed. They're very tight. We've got a cut at the upper bicep, which is pretty tight. It's really nice. We've got double joints in both of the elbows, which are really good. There's a very good range of movement. We've got a pretty good ab crunch in here too, which is surprising. Looks like his jacket is a softer plastic. And there's also a waist twist in here, which is fantastic. Legs go up to about yay high, which is an incredible range of movement. There's a swivel in the upper thigh. No official cut. We've got double joints to the knees, which are very, very good, very good. And there are also ball joints in the wrists, which are nice and tight. And now it looks like we also don't have any sort of boot cut, but the ankle articulation is nice and tight, and there's a decent range of movement. So there you have it. There's your articulation for Mr. Spike Spiegel, and it's all looking really good. It's a lot better than your typical articulation from a Mondo figure. Not that Mondo does bad articulation, but there's usually one hot spot here and there. So far, it's all looking good. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to his accessories. All right, so we're going to start off with his tool belt, which is incredible to look at. It's very nicely sculpted, very well painted. It looks extremely nice. It looks very animation-esque with the matte painting. I don't see any slop here or anywhere really. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. I think this looks fantastic. Next up, we have the meat skewer with a piece of meat on it. I like the idea of this, but the edge of the blade for this, it doesn't quite line up properly, so it looks really off. The base of the blade is hard plastic, whereas the end of the blade is a softer plastic. It looks good, sort of. Next up, we have the portrait with the goggles. Now, unfortunately, mine are a little lopsided. Other than that, the sculpt is good. The paint application is good. It looks nice, except for the fact that I can't move these goggles to make it look better. Here's another portrait with a cigarette in its mouth, which I'm surprised that they would do. Normally, they kind of shy away from cigarettes and cigars. But it looks good. I like it. It's a shame there's no red tip at the end, but that might be intentional. So if you're really against smoking, you could just say he's got a lollipop in his mouth. So sorry, I'm going to piss off some Cowboy Bebop fans, but I'm not quite sure what this is, but it looks cool. It's been ages since I've seen Cowboy Bebop. I saw the movie that rounded out the series. I saw a handful of episodes, but I'm blanking on a lot of it. But anyway, here's the pistol. It's really well sculpted. There's a little bit of glittery shine to it, so it's nice. It's got a little bit of heft for such a small little piece of plastic. Next up, we have a set of gripping hands. They look good, not too shabby. We've got a pair of trigger hands, also good. These hands can be used for martial arts poses. They're nice. We've got a pointing finger and got a splayed out hand. And lastly, we have a thumbs up hand and a hand that is holding a vial. I think it might be connected to that last movie. I'm probably wrong though, but it looks good. So next up, let's go ahead and get the rest of this plastic off so we can check out this bad boy. This looks awesome. This flamethrower is incredibly well sculpted, incredibly well painted. There's sort of a clear, almost semi-transparent plastic for the flame effect. The rest is a matte with some silver paint application. There's a fabric strap to drape it around the shoulder. Overall, this looks fantastic. This looks really good. Really nice, really nice. And our other BFG, this net gun right here, also looks incredible. Looks fantastic. Also comes with a cloth strap that you can drape around the shoulder. Paint application is excellent. Sculpt is excellent. It looks amazing. Absolutely amazing. There's a scope on here as well, which obviously is not functional, but it's there. Looks really good. If I had a criticism for either one of these guns, is that I don't have any other 1/8 scale figures that I can use these guns with. My only complaint. And it's not even a real complaint. The last thing that came underneath all of this plastic is the base. So there's a regular circular base. There's kind of a glittery texture to it. It's hollow underneath, but you know, it looks like it'll get the job done. It also comes with a stand, a posable arm, similar to the stands that come with Mezco toys. Hopefully this will be secure enough to actually hold this guy up in a in any sort of like flying, well, not flying, but kicking positions. You know, the guy's a martial artist, so hopefully we can get some aerial shots of him with this stand. Hopefully it's strong enough to support him. Seems okay so far. Alright, so let's go ahead and bring Mr. Spike Spiegel back in for a little dippity dot. So overall, like I said before, I think this is a fantastic looking figure. I think the sculpt is amazing. I think the paint application is amazing. It's all good. It's all looking really good. Also, the articulation is really good as well. It's a lot better than your standard 1/6 scale from Mondo toys, at least in my opinion. Not only can you get him into the range of movement that a 1/12 scale figure can, but he holds that position as well. The joints are nice and tight where they need to be. If there is a complaint, maybe where the thigh meets the hip is getting slightly loose, but so far so good. It's not hindering the posability of the figure at all. Swap out of the heads is very simple. No hair dryer required. It's on a ball joint. However, that ball joint, I wish it could get a little bit more range of movement, but as it stands, it's still pretty good. Also, the swap out of the hands is easy as well. However, getting them clicked in, you will have to put a little bit more pressure than normal to just really get them clicked into place. They're not really in there until you hear that snap. Also, one thing that Mondo tends to have an issue with are the accessories weighing down the articulation of the figure. Sometimes the accessories are a little too heavy, but so far with this figure, all the accessories are not. Even the big gun and flamethrower, they're not weighing down on the figure, at least not so far. So I'm really happy with that as well. The belt cannot be opened up. It's a solid sculpt, which I honestly prefer, and it just slips right up on his hip, so you can have it either below his jacket or on top of his jacket. Getting it on top of his jacket will be a little more difficult though. If you want to just get it below his hips and you don't want to put it over his legs, you can actually separate the torso. There's a ball joint there, so it looks like we're working with a double ball jointed ab crunch. Also, for such a lanky figure, the balance is very good. Certain positions might take some working, but again, that's what the stand is for. But even still, you can get them into some nice positions without the use of a stand. Okay, final thoughts. Overall, I like this figure quite a bit. My complaints are minimal. I think the sculpt is good. I think the paint application is really good. I like the amount of accessories that it comes with. And I think the price is not too shabby when you put it up against other Mondo offerings. It was listed as $169.99 at BigBadToyStore.com. However, they are sold out. But on the bright side, it's listed at $140 at the Mondo website. So if you are interested in getting it, you can get it at a reasonable price. Well, reasonable for Mondo anyway. And with that, I'm going to call it a wrap. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, hit that bell for notifications, and I will check you later.